How y'all doing? It's Chris, Pastor Steve. We're in the editor's room, chilling with the pastor. Um, Last week, we just uploaded Reverend Dr. Tina Patterson's video. I think it was really great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty smooth.
Definitely. I know for me, well, first off, I know it was a really good recording. It was good to see her again. I haven't seen her. It's been a couple years.
Yeah.
Where she did used to come to Cope back in the day, where I'm still a member, and it's good to see her have her own church and grow and flourish in the conference. So it's really always good to see her again.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Dr. Tina definitely has a interesting perspective of being a Christian that it always makes it very interesting to talk with her.
Right.
Yeah. So the one thing that I wanted to talk about real quick is that first question that we tackled with her was when we asked her, well, when did Jesus first become real to her? I thought it was pretty, her response was pretty cool because it was different.
Yeah.
It was different in the fact that I know we hear about people growing up in the church and being raised to be Christians, but you don't hear people really truly talk about that and kind of get into depth about that.
Right.
And that's what she did.
Yeah. And I know for me, I really identify with that because I have been through that same path. I grew up in the church. There was nothing else I knew but work, church, and home. Well, as a kid, you don't work, but even now in my adult life, work, church, and home every week.
Right.
So I know kind of like how that goes. So I really identify with her on that part.
Yeah, that's cool. So was there anything else though that stood out in that conversation for you?
It was mostly interesting, just seeing more of her backstory, how she grew up, because I knew some of it, but I feel like through this conversation I learned more about her, like especially how I didn't know she worked in corporate America for all those years, and then she just said, I'm not supposed to do this. Like that takes like a lot of faith to just say, can't do this no more, I'm out. Like
right. Faith and boldness.
Right.
Yeah, faith and boldness, because just to walk out on something that you've done for years, no matter what it is, whether you feel it's something you need to do or you're called to do, and then it's just one day, Lord, I'm listening and I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's like, wow, okay, so this is the second person that we've interviewed, and we hear of this incredible and immense amount of faith that they have by doing the things that they did. You know what I'm saying? It's just pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. Another thing we tackled in this one too was the question about millennials. We tackled that with Reverend Terry, and now here we are with Reverend Tina, and we talking about the same thing. And from one perspective of that, she came kind of in the same direction that Terry did at first, in that it's a two-way street.
Right.
It's not about just capturing millennials' attention, but also too the millennials needing to be willing to be captured, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What else stood out about that with you?
I know with me, the comment she made about how you may see them pull out their phones, like they might have the Bible app on their phone, or like they're not looking, directly at the preacher while they're preaching. Like they might be doing something else, but that's not necessarily saying that they're not paying attention or not getting it. It's just that they need to stimulate it different ways. Like I know for me, I can't do one thing at a time. Like I have to do more than one. So it's one of those things where I understand where she was coming from with that, because it's like I'm not one that can just like sit and stare at something like just like that. Like I have to grab my phone, have to be doing something, and like I might be doing something here, but like I'm listening, and it's like, oh, okay, I understand that. Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
I remember a class I took at in school, my freshman year in college, and then they were talking about those different things. It's kind of like giving you those tips to welcome you to college, and you want to do certain things. And one of the things my teacher taught us was that sometimes you may listen to music and do homework at the same time, and that's what helps you to focus on the task at hand. And I can completely agree with that. Heck, I preach from my phone most Sundays. I got the Bible app pulled up, I got my notes that I got pulled up. All I got to do is hit my screen, go to the next screen, start getting, my points, and go back to the Bible so I can read straight from the scripture. I do that same thing. So yeah, I can definitely understand and agree that I don't think that seeing someone, younger folks, doing other things means that they're not paying attention.
Right.
It's pretty cool about the multitasking thing. Yeah. We are definitely in an age where multitasking is very prevalent.
Right.
That is for sure. And I do remember, Reverend Tina, when we kind of ended the conversation with the last question, really kind of speaking towards those stereotypes for her as being a female pastor, but not only a female pastor, African American female pastor.
Right.
And then, when you hear within certain circles, non-denominational mainly, or other denominations as well, but you hear the whole stereotype of being a Methodist. You know what I'm saying? Like, every time you turn around, if there's one denomination that's probably talked about the most within the Christian circles, it's the Methodist way of doing things. So I want to say that not all Methodists are exactly the same.
No.
We're not all the same. But it's very interesting what she talked about, and I encourage you all to go and watch that video. Definitely wait to the end, because that last question, that last conversation definitely was one that was very interesting to me. And she talks about that faith moment that Chris was just talking about as well, and her working in corporate America and God leading her to a point of quitting corporate America and going into pastoring full time. Pretty cool. So you want to see it, you want to hear it, because I'm pretty sure at least one of you knows exactly how she felt in that moment. So that was last week's video. Here we are. We're in the in-between week. We're in the editor's room, and we're getting ready for this next video that's getting ready to launch. And next week, we're going to end up sitting down with a young lady by the name of Leticia Preacely, Pastor Leticia Preacely. And she's another interesting individual. I don't know, I don't want to give you all too much just yet, but I will say that we had a nice long conversation.
Yes.
And she's a very interesting person. You're going to enjoy hearing someone else's perspective at life. She's not Terry Cunningham young, but she's definitely younger than me.
Yeah.
So she's young. So what we want to do right now is just give you all opportunity that if you have not subscribed yet, do so. Clicking the button down below, and make sure you hit that little bell. That little bell is going to be your notification letting you know whenever we've uploaded new material, new content, and give you an opportunity to see it first, okay? So with that being said, and me not giving you too much on the talk with Pastor Preacely, is there anything else you want to add to the conversation for today from the editor's room?
Happy holidays. Be safe. Peace.
Peace.